So now, not only are you a politician, you are a TV star. You got your show on the Sportsman Channel. 40 years are a pretty good run, though, for a show, right? Can you talk about that accomplishment?
That is a good run for a show. I mean, growing up with SNL, you know, I was one of those kids who would like sneak into the TV room on Saturday night and watch the show, because back in the day it was risque, right? Yeah. I mean, there was like cuss words or something, so we would sneak in there and watch, until years later we found out our parents loved it too. It's great though. Americana, iconic, so much talent. Lauren, oh my gosh, everything that he has put together all these years, you got to respect it.
Midas touch, and I'd be the worst reporter in the world if I did not ask you for your first impression of Tina Fey's impression when you first saw it, and how has she done since then?
I'm like, dang it, she's too good. I really, to this day, I do a double take. If I see, you know, a rerun, I'm like, is that, I'm on Tina, no, look, it's Tina. Oh, she's really good.
She could run in 2016 if you don't.
Sure, let her go answer the questions, right? Let her do the interviews, yeah. Right.
So let me ask you, one of the most profound moments in SNL history was when you took to the stage right after 9/11. Talk about what your feelings were just before you hit the stage.
Oh my goodness, you know, that was such a difficult time, and it was such a wonderful thing that Lauren did. So if I had to pick one moment on SNL that was the most patriotic and the most unifying of all Americans, it would probably be that one. And I don't think he has any idea what it did for the morale, because he had so many police officers and firefighters there. I thought that was one of the great moments. And that was his idea. He called me and he asked me if he could do it. And the joke that he gave me when he said, well, can we be funny now? And I said, well, it'd be interesting if you started now. That was his joke.
Yeah, you got the punchline. That's great. And speaking of which,
mine.
well, that's good to give credit where credit.
I don't want to get in trouble for taking a punch.
So now you've also hosted and you've been the butt of the jokes. Can you talk about the Farley sketch where he played your son first, and then, of course I do.
That's played a lot on the best of Chris Farley. My son loves it. He's now 29 and he loves watching it. He shows it to his friends. When it happened, I was not. I thought it was funny. In fact, you know, there was a slight degree of, gosh, I really made it to Saturday Night Live. I think they got me a few times when I was U.S. attorney, but I had never had like a whole skit devoted to me. So Andrew and I were pretty happy about it.
And then you got a little revenge, right? You've got to tell some of your own jokes. You got the host. You got to take over the show.
Host. I got to do my own skits. I got them back a little bit, but.
Were the ones with the taxi cabs, though, when he was
mayor. Yeah, frickin' Giuliani.
You know, that was a pretty
frickin' Giuliani.
I couldn't say that. You say that, but yes.
So, and it's all just part of the job, right? Being a politician, like you said, you made it. You hit the mark if you're on SNL.
Honest, I think most politicians react to it that way. I know President Ford did, and I know President Reagan did, because I worked for President Reagan. And I know he enjoyed it. Sometimes he wasn't sure the quality of the acting was as good as it should be. Because he was an actor, remember? Yeah. It was like, well, they should have got me a little more like this, a little more like that.
It worked out 40 years.